Hello everyone, my name is Keely. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome to episode 2 of Romance with a Side of Food. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is a new series I've started on my channel where I read my favorite subgenre of romance, which is romance that includes some kind of food element, whether that's baking, cooking, a restaurant, things like that. So in this video, I have 3 books that I'm very excited to read, so let's go through them. The first one I have here is A Sweet Mess by J.C. Lee. This is book 1 in this companion series. I've had book 2 for so long, but that one's not foodie, and I need to read them in order. So in order to get that one, I need to read this one, and what a pleasant surprise when I found out it is a foodie romance, so it's perfect for me. Next, I have one that I actually pre-ordered, and that is Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Cher Lee. Now this one is very short, so that's very surprising, and this is also Cher Lee's debut book, so I'm very excited to get to this one. And the third one I am actually reading from Kindle Unlimited, and that is Digging Up Love by Chandra Bloomberg, and this one is food and paleontology. So dinosaurs with food. That sounds so exciting. That sounds so much fun. So I'm so excited. I'm really excited to get to all 3 of these. I can't tell you the synopsis yet because I kind of go into them just knowing that it has food in it. And then as I'm reading each book, I will tell you what they're about. But yes, I am very excited. So let's roll the vlog. So I started Fake Dates and Mooncakes, and I am already 79 pages into this. This book is very short, so usually I update like 100 pages in to give you a synopsis and my initial thoughts, but because it's so short, I don't even think I'm gonna need to update you halfway. It's probably just gonna be like 2 updates. So this is the first one. This book, we follow a 17-year-old boy named Dylan, and Dylan has recently lost his mother, so he is living with his aunt and working in her takeout restaurant. They also live above the restaurant in an apartment there, and Dylan, one night, he is doing a delivery, and he delivers to this very entitled rich boy who just goes at him and is just very aggressive and rude. And at that time, in the same apartment, there is a boy named Theo who is like telling his friend, dude, like stop getting mad at him, it's not his fault. And Theo's being pretty cool about it. So Dylan goes back to the restaurant, and the next day, in walks that boy, Theo, and he is apologizing for how his friend acted. He gives them this huge tip, and come to find out, Theo is this very wealthy boy. So Dylan's aunt's restaurant has come into some trouble, and she is trying really hard to like hide the fact that they are about to be evicted, but Dylan tells Theo that if he could raise $5,000 just like really quick, then all of his problems would be solved. And so lo and behold, Theo, Mr. Nice Rich Boy, actually donates a ton of money to the restaurant so they can give the payment by the end of the week that they owe. And so Dylan, of course, is like, dude, I can't owe you that much money, that's way too much. And Theo's like, listen, you don't have to owe me, just pretend to be my boyfriend at my cousin's wedding this weekend. So this is a fake dating book. And first of all, let me tell you, if somebody wants to offer me money, even if it's $5,000, like, go ahead. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, don't do that. I'm not gonna be offended. I just don't get why people do that, because that is your money, that's your prerogative. If you want to give it to me, I'll take it, you know, it's fine. I do really like the characters in here, Dylan and Theo. They are very different because of their backgrounds, but also very similar because of their backgrounds. If you'll read it, that makes sense. But like I said, Theo is this really wealthy boy, and Dylan isn't, and he's living with his aunt and his cousin, and they're trying to stay afloat and also get his like aunt's dream restaurant. So in the middle of this, in order to raise money, Dylan is going to be in a mooncake competition where they are trying to recreate his family recipe for mooncakes. Now his mom knew the recipe and they were going to make it together, but since she passed away, the recipe has been lost with her, and so they're trying to recreate it. So this book is very short, so I feel like you have to be in it really quick, and you have to feel the connections between the characters very fast. I feel like there is definitely a connection between Dylan and Theo, and I really like them together and how they work together. I also love how accepting their families are, and so like they're coming out, their being gay is not like a tension point in the story. This is literally just a happy gay love story, which is really awesome. But this cover, stunning. Also, obviously the reason I'm reading this for this vlog is the food aspect. So is the food aspect good? Yes, it is. Let me tell you, the descriptions are spot on. Like, I want to go out and eat mooncakes so bad, but so far I'm enjoying it. I think it's really cute. I don't think it's going to be an all-time favorite, but we'll see if that changes it. But so far, so good. Alright pals, I finished Fake Dates and Mooncakes, and overall I thought this was really cute. I really enjoyed Theo and Dylan and how their relationship formed. I also loved seeing how they interacted with their families and how loving and accepting they were, especially Dylan's family. Like, his aunt and cousins are just really great, and I loved seeing that relationship as well. I will say, usually I'm like, oh, this book felt way too long. This book needed 50 to 100 pages more of the story, because I was hoping that the baking competition, the mooncake competition, would be a big portion of the story, but it's only about 15 pages, like right at the end. And so the whole time I was reading this, I was like, are we even gonna get to the competition? Because I was about to finish the book and I was like, we haven't even seen anything with that yet. They like practice making mooncakes like once or twice, but the competition I was like, okay, we're getting down to the end, like when is it gonna happen? And so I was hoping for more of that, but overall this book was just really short, so there's not much like more to say about it. I thought it was cute, I thought it was adorable, but I am gonna give it 3 stars because I just felt like it was really short and that I didn't get a whole lot out of it. It's not a new favorite, but I did enjoy the characters. Also, this is probably like one of my favorite covers of all time. I think it is just absolutely stunning, and as I was reading it I kept flipping to the front just so I could look at it. Like, it's a masterpiece. I love this cover. But first book done. I think the next book I'm gonna pick up, I'm still like in a physical book mood, and since the other 2 books, one's physical, one's ebook, I'm gonna pick up my physical book, which is A Sweet Mess by J.C. Lee. This one is longer, but it is still relatively short. I think it's just over 300 pages. It's 306 pages, so it's still really short. I'm about to go into work, so I'm hoping this afternoon I can pick this one up. I don't know how far I'll get into it, but that is the plan for now. So far, an okay start. I mean, 3 stars isn't horrible, but not a new favorite, so hopefully it can only go up from here. I never know how to start these vlog clips, but hello. Hi, I'm back with another update because I am 100 pages into A Sweet Mess. So this book is set in a small town called Weldon, and we follow 27-year-old named Aubrey who owns a bakery. One night after work, she goes to the local bar where her best friend works, and she runs into this very attractive guy named Landon. Now, Landon is from out of town. His car broke down, and so that's why he is in this small town, Weldon, and they end up having a one-night stand. They wake up the next morning, and they think they'll never see each other again, but little do they know, Landon is a celebrity food critic, and Aubrey is a bakery owner. So Landon actually ate at that bakery while he was in town, and he writes a scathing review about her bakery that nearly destroys her entire business. When Landon discovers that that is his Aubrey that he spent the night with, he tries to fix his mistake by offering her a spot on his new celebrity baking show that is going to be filmed in wine country for 3 weeks. So she takes this position, and they're going to be spending some romantic maybe time together while filming the show over a course of a few weeks. So let me tell you, going into this, I didn't know it involved a one-night stand, which is not for me, not it, don't like it. But this book doesn't dive too deep into it, so it just kind of sets it up, and then it goes from there. But I will say, because these characters already had that intense connection at the beginning, I'm not feeling it quite yet because I just don't think one-night stands are like for me, and so I can't feel that connection from a one night. But I think we are heading in that direction. I like the characters separately, and I like how they interact with each other, and I think it's really interesting that she is a baker and he is a food critic. I like seeing the 2 different sides of the food world. Also, the bakery scenes, I love them. Reading books like this just makes me really want to drop everything and open my own bakery. I have loved those scenes so much, and I'm hoping that we just get even more cooking and baking as we are reading the like competition show TV scenes. I feel like that's going to be so fun because I also love food TV shows, and so I feel like it's going to go well, hopefully. So far I'm having positive vibes. I'm enjoying it, but I'm hoping that I feel that connection more between the 2 characters as their romance develops. But yes, so far, so good. I'm gonna go read some more today. Maybe I'll get about halfway through. I also wanted to show you, I got new bookmarks because I ordered them specifically for books like this because they are food bookmarks, and there are a ton. There are like 2 different packs. One of them is like savory food and one of them is like sweets and drinks, and so the one I chose for this book is a little strawberry popsicle. It is so cute. I'm gonna pull out the others and I can show you some of them. So I just found these on Amazon, and this is the first package, and this is the savory one. So let me pull out a few of these and I can show you. But we have like sushis, we have tteokbokki, we have corn dogs, there's some hot dogs and sausages in there, and they're just so cute. Now this other one is more of the summery one. So like I said, we have some drinks in there and then a bunch of popsicles and like desserts. So here we have a Sprite up front. There's a bunch of drinks. There's some, oh, there's a Coke. There's like some ice cream cones that are upside down in here. A bunch of popsicles, and they're just so cute. So I'm excited to add these to my bookmark collection, and I will definitely be using these when I'm reading foodie romance books. Alright, I am now halfway through A Sweet Mess, and honestly, I'm not loving it. And I know why. So these two characters, like I said, it was a one-night stand, and ever since then, this book, like their relationship is a lot about lust, and for me in a romance, I need to feel that connection between the two characters in order to root for them. And for these two, I don't root for them quite yet because I don't feel that connection, because every time they're in the same room together, they're just like, oh my gosh, I need to sleep with him. Like, that's all that's going on right now. I'm hoping when the baking show actually starts, like, that'll be more interesting to me. Right now she's still practicing different recipes, so that's been really fun to see. And some of the descriptions for the food, like there was one scene where she eats Thai food, and oh my gosh, I loved the food descriptions. So that's an A+ for that book, for this book. But so far the relationship, not my favorite, just because it just feels like a lust-filled relationship, and I need that like deep connection to like vibe with the characters, if that makes sense. I know it makes sense, but yeah, so that's where I'm at with this book. So I have halfway to go. I don't know how much I'm going to be reading today and tomorrow because I am meeting my favorite author tonight, Riley Sager. So I'm driving 2 hours to go meet him, the event's tonight, and then tomorrow I will drive 2 hours back home. So we'll see how much reading I get done, but I'm hoping I can like sit in the bookstore that the signing is at and just like read. So we will see, but I will update you probably when I have finished that book. Alright, I just finished A Sweet Mess, and I'm giving it 1 star. Wow, I didn't see that one coming. So, my problems were, the biggest one I already mentioned, is this relationship was only about lust. I didn't feel a single connection between them, and with me and my romance, I need there to be some kind of emotional connection and not just physical, because I can't root for you if you don't truly care for each other, and I just didn't feel that because all they wanted to do was take each other's pants off. And we didn't even get to see it. Like, it was all fade to black, which I don't mind, like a cleaner romance, but the fact that this book was completely lustful and then you didn't even get to see anything, it just felt strange for this book, honestly. It felt like there was just like this huge buildup and no payoff at all. Also, there was a trope in here, and it was my first time ever reading this trope, and I've discovered I don't like it. I'm not surprised I don't like it, but yeah, I just don't like it, and I know a lot of people don't, but I'm not going to say what it is. And also, at the end, Landon was so pathetic. Like, I am embarrassed for him. I actually started cringing because he just seemed so pathetic. So yeah, 1 star. I will continue in the companion series and read the other books and just hope that they're better. We'll see, because I mentioned I own the second one. No, I actually own the third one, so I have another one to get to before I get to that one. So we'll see. But yes, that leaves 1 more book for this video, and that is Digging Up Love. I think that's what it's called. So I will read that next, and I guess I will update you when I'm like 100 pages in. Okay, I have started Digging Up Love, and I am now 100 pages into the book, and I am really liking it. So this book is dual point of view. We follow Alicia and Quentin. So first with Alicia, she lives in a very small town in the middle of nowhere in Illinois. She lives with her grandparents. Now her grandparents own a restaurant, and Alicia is living with them to help take care of them and to help run the restaurant. She has put aside her dreams of owning her own cookie shop though. She wants to move to the city and open up this bakery, but she hasn't even told her grandparents because she doesn't want to let them down, and she wants to stay around and help them out. On the other side of things, we have Quentin, who is a professor and paleontologist, which is so cool. So they come together because there is a dinosaur bone found in Alicia's grandparents' backyard. And so in comes the little paleontologist, and Alicia and Quentin meet because of this, and they strike up a friendship and possibly maybe heading towards a relationship. So I am really enjoying the 2 different sides of the story. So Alicia, like I said, she is dealing with the fact that she wants to leave and start her own bakery, but she hasn't even told her grandparents. And on the other hand, Quentin is struggling with a recent heartbreak and breakup that he is going through. And so neither one of them is like, I don't want to start a relationship, this is not good, but they haven't even had that talk yet. But in their heads, they're like, this isn't even a possibility, but we all know what's gonna happen. I also, of course, love the baking element. I wish that it was included more and we got to see more of the baking and the food, but I do feel like we are seeing more of that as the book goes on, so I am assuming that that'll be more involved, especially when Alicia hopefully gets to open up her own cookie store. But the dinosaurs. I love the dinosaurs. I've recently become interested in like archaeology and like digging up old things. So this in a romance book, I have never seen something like this done before, or even seen paleontology like in a fiction book. I've never read about a professor that digs up dinosaur bones, and I am loving that aspect so much. I think it is such a cool and unique added touch to a romance book. But so far, so good. This is the longest book of the three, but I feel like I'm reading it pretty quickly. So far so good, and hopefully this goes better than the last one. Alright, I am 50% of the way through Digging Up Love, and I have reached the point in the story where I no longer want to be reading it. That sounds bad, but I just want to read something else because I'm not feeling either way about this book, like positive or negative. I just feel and like it just gets kind of boring when you're reading a book where you're like, I don't feel anything towards this book or the characters. I don't feel a huge connection or chemistry between the characters, so I really don't care about the relationship. I will say, bonus point, that the main guy is a runner and I'm a runner, so I enjoy that. But, major red flag, these characters don't like animals. And I said that on page. I'm like, you're just gonna tell people that you don't like animals? Sketchy. And then another thing that popped up is I hate when this happens in books, when a character does something and as the reader you see why they do that and it's completely justified, but the other character like judges them right away without knowing all the facts. And I'm like, you don't even know this person and you're like, ooh, it's just like what happened last time. But it is nothing like what happened to you last time. You just didn't even ask all the questions about why they are acting the way they are. I hate when that happens, especially when a character goes on a rant about how the other person should be living their life. Like, mind your own business, especially when you like don't even know the person that well because you'll just met. But anyway, I'm ready to be done with this. My Kindle says I have like 3 hours left, so I'm hoping I can finish it today because like I said, I just want to move on with my life. So this video so far is not as positive as the first foodie romance video, which I'm very surprised with, but we'll see if the second half picks up, but I don't have high hopes. Okay, I finished Digging Up Love, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I give it 2 stars. The characters were just not it for me. I found them incredibly cringy, and they also read so much younger than they actually were. They were in their 30s, but they read almost like teenagers, and that's coming from someone who still feels like she's 16, but these characters just, it didn't feel right. Like, the problems that they were having versus the language they were using just felt cringy to me. So I didn't really care about the relationship. And then in the second half of the book, we also met Alicia's sister, Simone, and I did not like her. She made me angry and I was just annoyed with her the whole time. So already disliking the main characters and then adding another character I didn't like just completely ruined it for me. And I also felt like they were having the same argument over and over and over again. So it was just really annoying because I'm like, we're doing this again? Really? So I was debating between 1 and 2 star, but I'm gonna give it 2 star because I just feel like I'm being really mean. For me, I feel like it's easier to rate romance books lower because in my other books like thriller and horror, if I don't like a character, I'm like, okay, they're gonna die, it's fine. But in romance, that doesn't usually happen. So if I don't like the character, the entire experience is ruined. But yeah, so that's it for this video. Let's wrap it up. So I read 3 books for this vlog. The first one was, here, let me have it. I have it. I couldn't find it. Okay, the first one was Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Shara Lee, and I gave this one 3 stars. Overall, I definitely enjoyed this one the most, and out of all 3 of them, I only probably recommend this book, to be honest. And then I read A Sweet Mess, 1 star, and then Digging Up Love, 2 stars. As far as spice factor goes, these were all like clean romances. This one was definitely clean, and Digging Up Love was definitely clean. This one was like closed door. So out of the 3, I would say A Sweet Mess is the spiciest as far as that goes, but they were all relatively clean. But yeah, that's it for this video, I guess. We're gonna wrap it up. Not as successful as my first episode, but hopefully when I do episode 3, it's just even better. But yeah, if you've made it this far, go ahead and leave the cookie emoji because in the last book, she was a cookie baker. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, all my social media links will be down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!